Last week in Suzuka, Travis Newsom put on a clinic, cruising to victory after teammate Tyler Cato played the role of Minister Defense to perfection, holding up Michael Odell long enough for Newsom to build a 10-second lead that he never relinquished. Odell burned through his tires trying to get by and paid the price, fading to fourth by the race's end. In the second half of the race, we were treated to a thrilling scrap between DeLeo, Alcrudo, and Odell, proof that when it comes to racing, quality over quantity reigns supreme. Meanwhile, Chris Wilkie kept it clean and consistent, going largely unchallenged to secure the AM Class win after Darren Canfield's early exit. We go green in the Belgian bull ring of Zolder, live next on ASN. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Circuit Zolder, nestled in the forests of Belgium. Built in 1963, Zolder measures 2.49 miles and features 10 corners, 4 to the left and 6 to the right. Known for its tight chicanes and technical nature, the circuit demands rhythm and discipline from drivers, with key sections like Villeneuve and Klein chicanes challenging braking precision, while the long straights reward strong exits. With a storied history in Formula One and touring cars, Zolder remains a demanding and unforgiving classic in European motorsport. The format for the TORQ Sports Car Series is as follows. We are finishing open practice now, which leads us into a 15-minute qualifying session to determine the grid for our 45-minute race. As the 7th season of the TORQ Sports Car Series continues tonight live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to Zolder in Belgium. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you, as always, by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you so much to Andrew Cardinale IV for all of your camera support. Mr. Bryan Sawyer, last week we had an immensely impeccable show with just 12 cars. We only have 9 tonight in Zolder, so how are you? What are your thoughts? And I heard you say you've never seen this track before?
I've never seen this track before, Josh. It looks too complicated for my taking. But I'm sure these guys can handle it well. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited to be here tonight. My last race for this series with you this season. Got Justin Robichaud next week at Daytona.
It's gonna be a good time next week. As ironically, TORQ is gonna be in Florida next week. I'm also gonna be in Florida next week with my wife Chloe and my friend Cody Erdman, and his wife Audrey. Yeah. We're going to be in Daytona, but it's not going to be for a race. Welcome to Rockville. It's going to be a good time. I wish I could do infield reporting, but it's going to be a lot of just unintelligible gibberish, really. So we are in Zolder. We're in Belgium. This used to be the site of the Belgian Grand Prix in the 1980s. From my knowledge, most well known, unfortunately, for the tragic accident of Gilles Villeneuve. And they don't race here anymore in Formula One. As we head to qualifying already, let's take a quick look at points as these guys are on their warm-up lap. Miguel Alcrudo, Travis Newsom, Armando Arens, Cato Allen, Alvarez Kretschmer, Oquendo, Carrito, and Odell, the top 10. And in AM, congratulations, Darren Canfield. You have won by default. You are the only AM class car in the race today. So I'm not entirely sure where Chris Wilkie is, but nobody else is here either, so those points are not going to even change, Brian. And in the team's championship...
Technically, Wilkie's got 15 minutes to show up.
Well, I guess you're not wrong. I forgot about that part.
Technically
I thought it closed
correct.
registrations.
The best kind of correct.
Yeah, well, the Puerto Rican teams are sweeping that championship, and in the Manufacturers' Championship, I think it's Porsche. I don't recall correctly, but we'll take a second look here as we round the circuit. First car on track was Miguel Alcrudo. Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren, Corvette, Acura, Mustang, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Lamborghini. So, Miguel Alcrudo, what corner name is that, Brian? You got a track name? Olderberg Harspeldbach. Yes.
I don't have all that.
I'm not saying that track.
I want
may
you
have
to
won.
say that every time we go through it.
So this is interesting in this final chicane. That's not what they normally run, and Al Crudo fully committed on exit down to turn 1, Erst corner. Tricky to get right. Very, very late apex. Tightens up mid-corner, and then we head to Sterenwald, turn number 2, turn 3, Canal. Ran this track a lot on R Factor back in the day. It was not as beautiful as this, but it's still maintained a very flat track through Lucien Bianchi, named after, if I recall correctly, Jules Bianchi's grandfather, through turn 4, down the backstretch to the Klein chicane. A kind of a little bit of a rise up here. You drop slightly down. We're going to expect these guys utilizing all of the curbs and then some, but they are raised slightly. Very nice and respectful to those curbs. Up the hill, now down the hill through the Butte corner, turn 6, to the turn 7 chicane. And it's another one of those, Brian, where the curbs are very inviting, and it's almost, you ask yourself, how much curb can I take without getting a track cut?
Yeah, I don't like to take too much. I'll end up spinning myself on any curb. But I've said it before, these cars are too much for me to handle. I need something slow.
Is that why you are the, former Lights World Champion?
Yeah,
you
I'm slow.
Lost? Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
I only won due to a hurricane, so.
Yeah, I only won because Josh Klog didn't show up for all their races. Anyways, Miguel Alcrudo crosses the line to end his first lap, 1 minute 24.235. We got Wanchi Requena closing in car number 2. He's going to be the next car on track. And like I mentioned, the Jackie Ickx chicane, turn 10, it's normally a much tighter chicane. If we could focus on Requena right now, maybe from high above, and we can take a look and see. Because I think this chicane that they run for TORQ here is for the bikes. This fast left and right. The chicane on the right side of that picture there is the chicane they normally run. Requena down to the start-finish line, 1 minute 24.6.
Is that the only difference between this layout and the Grand Prix layout?
Yes, that's the only difference.
Huh.
Is that chicane. If I recall correctly, because there's no other layouts to run, it's just that different chicane, which I don't entirely like that we're running this chicane, this faster chicane. It does open you up to turn 1 easier, but I almost say if you get a better run off of turn 8, you deserve to be able to make a move into 10, which we won't be able to see tonight, I don't think. Top of the board right now remains Alcrudo, as Kato, Canfield's clocked 4th, Kato, Arens, Carrito, Odell, and Newsom. Odell in the Audi. Was he in the Audi last week? I don't think he was. I don't think he was in the 197. So, 9 cars, Brian.
I'm sorry, what did you ask about, Darren?
I didn't ask anything about Darren Canfield.
I was reading in-game chat.
Brian, focus.
I don't know how.
Michael Odell is in the Audi this week. I was asking you and confirming to you if he drove the Audi last week. I think he drove.
No, he did not.
Porsche.
Yeah, he drove the Porsche last week. He did not. Let's see what he's registered as.
Tell you what. While Bryan decides to do some investigative journalism, let's ride on board the 97 of Michael Odell and enjoy a lap here in Zolder.
Ooh, that's fast.
I like that. That car sounds great. Just like that, Brian. That's a lap in Zolder. And Michael Odell ripping around in this Audi down to the turn 7 chicane.
I'm glad you noticed he changed cars, because I was like, his car didn't look like this last week, and I was trying to reload trading paints thinking I had something wrong, but no, he just didn't get a paint done for this vehicle.
That's okay. This is coming from the guy that 10 minutes ago was sitting in his living room setting up his new iPhone. I have not been home all day to have a chance to research anything, so we're going to have the greatest spontaneous journalism you've ever seen. And Michael O'Dell, I'm still focused on him real quick. He ripped the grass entering the final chicane.
Dan Garrido up to P1.
1 minute 23.663. Never mind, Brian. By half a second, O'Dell to P1. No Carrito last week, I don't think.
No, Carrito was not here last week.
Hoping that we do have an increase of the field size in Daytona, but usually Daytona is, I was going to say Watkins Glen, Daytona, usually those tentpole races for a sports car fan, so hoping for the best, and if, it's Thursday, I'd have to check the list of bands at my show to even tell you if I would be paying attention, Brian. But I'll tell you what, I'll watch when we come back from vacation, just for you.
It's okay.
Want to hit some programming notes?
Sure.
Or are we going to wait till the end of quali?
We'll scream if something happens. Let's hit some notes.
Where's Carrito? Dan's already done. Kato's done. All right. It's easy, ladies and gentlemen. We have the 10th and final round of the NASA Rallycross World Championship on Saturday. That's at Hell in Norway, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Bryan, and I have no idea.
I'm going to solo that one, Josh. I'm going to have a good time.
You better give all of the energy into a winner-take-all scenario.
I have all the
Otherwise,
energy.
I will cry.
I have all the energy.
Can you mimic me? I believe in you.
I really hope not.
I don't.
I hope to bring my own energy, not your energy.
You know what? We might fight at breakfast tomorrow morning. 10:30. We're gonna kill each other in the city of Chicago. The iRacing Rallycross Strength of Field is the pretty consistent element of our broadcasting schedule right now. Saturday is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. It's consistently written down, is all I can tell you, because if Brian has a life and he's got a bunch of other stuff going on, it might not happen. But Brian, Josh Darnell, Steve Moreau, we'll see.
It will definitely happen this week. I fixed my problems. My wife is not here Saturday night, so we're go. All
right. And the final round of the TORQ Sports Car Series next Thursday at the Daytona International Speedway in Florida. That's at 8:40 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Justin Robichaux and Brian Sawyer for that. Newsom crosses the line. Perfect timing in the 19. 1 minute 24.4. Nowhere close to pole position. And that is qualifying for our 9 cars. All right.
Yeah, Lorenz is going out, but he's done.
He is. He's practicing his pit, and it's going to be interesting. The one element that I like about this chicane that was modified is this final chicane, when done normally, literally is a mirror image of the chicane at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is ironic given the circumstances of this track. I digress. The final chicane of Montreal. I bring that up because pit lane entry, literally full send until the pit line. Yes, but it's going to be a little different here with the modified chicane because you got those cones there in the background. You are not going to potentially drive into somebody like you can in Montreal or like you can on the regular chicane here, Brian. So
we're going to be on the road on the right over there.
Yes. What am I looking at? Yes.
Turn 10.
That's exactly what we're looking at. Yes. A great view of the tire bundles and the pit lane here in Zolder. And the Josh and Brian podcast. We got 3 minutes, 4 minutes left of this podcast, Brian.
It's okay. We're getting waffles tomorrow. I've never been.
Do I sound better?
Yeah, you sound better. You fixed it.
Okay. We're getting waffles. What else is at that place tomorrow?
I don't know. I've never been to
that place. Where am I even going?
You said where you were gonna be, and I looked restaurants near there, and I was like, oh, across the street. That works.
Oh, great. All right, so apparently we're not waiting for the rest of this, Brian. We are going to go ahead and advance to the race. All right.
All right. Good. All I had was
And
waffles. I couldn't figure out what else to talk about.
And we've got a full pace lap. Okay. Grid is one page. It's Michael Odell, Dan Carrito, Miguel Alcrudo, Newsom. Oh boy, everything's messed up on my end. Arenz, Rakenna, Cato, Esvito, Canfield. So Darren Canfield has won by default in the AM class. Congratulations, my friend. Have a good 45 minutes. A very, very lonely test session for you in the 15. As he is driving, definitely not a Porsche. I don't even know what he's driving because he isn't on screen. What are we thinking about turn 1? Are we thinking that the theme's going to continue, that they drop the hammer right when the safety car pulls off, and this is going to be a nice little test?
I would assume they would. I mean, it hasn't changed all season.
We wait for Odell to grid, and we wait for Canfield to grid. Just a reminder, if you like what you see and you like what you hear of us yapping with a podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Brian, are we on the dark web with a .onion domain yet?
Absolutely.
We're not, actually. Please don't look that up. Be sure to like and subscribe on all those platforms. Ring the bell to be notified of our live streams. Will Roberts is coming over the internal scanner with static as race control. That's a great time. So we just hang out and wait. Odell has gridded. Where's Canfield? We got 25 seconds, 20 seconds until we roll, and Canfield not on track. Otherwise, we're going to have 8 cars for 45 minutes. 58.
Per TORQ rules, Darren Canfield needs to set at least a lap to get counted as scored.
Oh. All right.
We've dealt with that. Yeah, we've dealt with that in the past where I've put people on the point sheet for them and they go, no, delete them, please. They didn't do a lap. They're not racing.
We roll. Thanks for hanging out with us. The Automotive Sports Network for the Josh and Bryan podcast, part of the TORQ Sports Car Series, round number 11 at Zolder in Belgium. And this is going to be interesting, to say the least, I think. Brian, I have no idea what my mic is doing. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's happening.
It sounds like you're scuba diving.
I don't know. It's a foot away from my face. What can I say?
Oh, you need to be 3 inches away from that.
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah, there you go.
How does that sound?
That's what we like.
Is that better?
Yeah, we like that.
Okay, all I know is my monitor is blowing my eardrums out. All right, listen.
It's okay. You're that loud for me, too.
You know, I try not to. I know that commentary, there's a, right? Everybody talks about Lee Diffie just yelling, right? Or David Croft just yelling. Listen, maybe I just don't understand, okay? Racing is exciting. I get excited. What can I say? I don't know. I have no words. Michael Odell, Dan Carrito, Miguel Alcrudo, Travis Newsom, Armando Arenz, Juanchi Rakenna, Tyler Cato, Omar Esvito. What is Omar Esvito doing? Oh, well, okay. He was trying to double up on the driver's right. 8 cars, 45 minutes. Listen, scuba diving is a fun sport. I'm kidding. I've never scuba dived in my life.
I've done it once.
I feel like I
don't feel the need to do it again.
Listen, when we raced the NASA WRC series in Kenya last week and there was a monsoon on stage 5 in the dark, I certainly felt like I was scuba diving as I drove off the cliff. That's you haven't done any stages this year, have you?
I know. I think I'll have some time tonight to. It's still Kenya this week, right?
Yes.
I like Kenya.
If it wasn't broken, I could tell you that it ends Friday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Darren Canfield had to eat, but he missed the grid. He is now starting from the pit lane. So
it's okay. If he can gun it,
safety car's off.
He can't drive. So
Thanks for joining us on ISN. We get ready to go green in Zolder. Yes to that question also. 45 minutes, 9 cars. This is going to be something else. Green flag.
We're off.
I think this is the best Most even start we've had all season. El Crudo looks to the middle. Odell, driver's left. Sorry! I thought it was Carrito. I thought it was Canfield for some reason. Words are hard, and Carrito spins on the first corner of the first lap. And Canfield has spun on pit exit. So I technically wasn't wrong. And now he's going to Austin Powers his way in the pit exit. Oh, that is not towards you, Darren. That's just toward the situation. All right. Odell leads by 0.8 of a second over El Crudo already. Arenz in third. Raquena, Cato. Newsom's got rear end damage. Vito, Carrito, and Canfield out of the pit exit. We've got some issues in the chicane. Looks like Cato might have gotten a slowdown. I'm trying to see what happened, Brian. Why Newsom has... Oh, that's why. They were bump drafting into turn one. He hit the brakes, and Vito did not. And now Newsom's got some rear end damage.
All right, we're gonna go take a look back at what happened to Dan Carrito there. I kind of missed it. I'm gonna get a.
Mertz has passed El Crudo for second. Just to update everyone, we take a look. Carrito on the left, and then it was one of the Puerto Rican cars just slid out wide, I think. And that's the worst. That's especially terrible when there's only 8 cars. So then you drive this immensely lonely race after being taken out lap 1, turn 1. Very disheartening. Looking to the inside of Raquena, that is a move for Newsom up to 4th. But he gives it right back. I think there's some rear bumper damage. He sent it into that corner. Now he looks to the inside of Canal Corner turn 3. We head to Lucien Bianchi turn number 4. Couple car lengths between the two Porsches. Raquena and Newsom off the road in the 19. Raquena held the middle until he couldn't anymore to turn into the chicane. Over the left, over the right. 2 car lengths between them. Right behind these guys, we have Tyler Cato in the 18, and then Omar Vito in the car number 8 in 7th. And Carrito has clawed a second back from Vito. We ride on board. Is that on board? That can't be on board, Carrito. That's
on board Cato. I don't know why that's not swapping.
That's not the first time. I noticed that in the rallycross race on Monday. You had Matty Grove and it listed him as Darren Canfield.
You know what?
I'm just going to blame you.
Yeah, I think that's my fault. I think I closed my program that swaps that name. I did. I didn't hit minimize. I didn't hit minimize. I hit close.
Rondo Aren's fastest lap.
There we go.
0.7 of a second, 3/4 of a second. There we go. It's fixed. It's fixed now.
Yeah, I know. I closed the program instead of minimizing it when I started it up.
You know what I say when I do something stupid? At least I'm pretty. That's one of my favorite phrases, Brian.
I know it is.
All right. Odell, 3/4 of a second up on Arenz, so I'm going to keep an eye on that one. What do we got? Teammates dueling? Not even close. 0.6 of a second between them. Oh, what a massive hit of the curve! Did you see that?
He took his hands off the wheel.
I would imagine you clobbered that curve and it rips the wheel out of your hands.
I think he's just excited he's still driving because it looked like he was going in a full crash position.
He got a slowdown for that immense track cut, obviously, so he gives up some time. Right ahead of him, Newsom and Raquena battling for the 4th position. As we ride on board for a moment, now we don't for Newsom. Big thing about this track, Brian, the slow corners teaches you throttle control in these cars. No traction control, if I recall correctly. Could be wrong on that one, but even still, the bravest of the brave with throttle application are the ones who win in this scenario. So, 0.5 second between Raquena and Newsom, closest battle we have right now. Up front. The gap is under 0.7 of a second now. Just kidding. It went back to 0.7. Arenz, I think another piece of this is Arenz went off the road and made me want to think about kicking up the gravel. There's going to be a lot of gravel on this track, a lot of dirt on the track by race's end.
At the end of the practice, I was noticing a lot on the track already.
especially in the traction zones. What are you sending me? Are you going to buy that for me?
No.
They go on sale for $25. Well, you'll buy it for me, right?
No.
You can expense it. It's a company expense.
Okay. We can do that.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Listen.
Yeah, let me just pull up the ASN concur file.
I don't. I'll approve your expense report, Mr. Sawyer. Just make sure you give the right reason codes. All right. Carino has passed his veto for the 7th position. I think his veto went off the road in some sort because Dan has clawed back that gap over these first 4 laps. Michael
Yeah,
O'Dell
I mean,
fastest
Dan qualified second. He's got some pace on these guys. So, I mean, the field is only spread out about 11 seconds. I mean, 45 minutes, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time to just get back up to where you think you could be. I mean, he could make it all the way. I mean, Odell's not running away with it. So,
surprisingly not. Last time around, actually, Arenz was quicker than Odell by 0.3 of a second. And what's interesting is heading into this backstretch chicane, you're braking on the dirt, it looks like. And I'm shocked that these guys are not looping the car. Arenz is making them all the time under braking in car number 7 into the turn 7 chicane.
you see that chicane right there? That's where I lose the car every time. I don't even need to have been on this track. I just know that's what's going to happen to me.
Hard section to get right. Into the Boulderberg Harschfeldbach. I can't do that again.
Look at him, Newsom. He's coming back to Rakenna.
Odell, let's head to the race lead. I know we're trying to focus on that, but Odell had a massive slip up. He had a slowdown off the corner, and that puts Arenz to the race lead. What happened to Odell? Oh, I tell you, I think Odell did go way too deep in that chicane you referenced. And now, battle for the lead. Rakenna and Newsom, 0.3 of a second between them, but these guys, let's see if Odell can get this position back. Newsom also 0.3 of a second away. All right, let's see. Pick a car. Let's ride on board Newsom for a lap and see if he can get by Rakenna. The gap has not changed from Rakenna to Newsom, but I can tell you that Cato to Carino looking good. As Cato pushing very hard in the 18, holding up Carino in the 320.
They're still only about 11 seconds back off the race lead, but he's taking it. I think Cato might have got a slowdown there.
Let him. No, there was no black flag on timing. Let him go. As he hits the curb again, off monitor, vaulted the 18 up into the air in the Porsche. And I would assume from our experiences with Rallycross, Bryan, that especially when these GT cars land, a suspension component could break. So these guys got to be careful over these curves.
Somebody who's driven these cars plenty of time on the Rallycross tracks, the suspension does break.
So, F a second from Odell to Arenz, rather Arenz to Odell. And I bring that up because if Cato keeps ramping it like it's Brands Hatch in the Ford Fiesta, something's going to break. And I don't know when and I don't know how. As Cato
Oh!
Right. Yep, he's given up.
Okay.
Full throttle into the pit chicane. That's a sign of a guy who doesn't want to drive anymore.
Yeah.
And off he went. Not ideal, but here we are. Now 8 cars left.
I don't think Dinkerita minds though. He's got some clean air. He's gonna catch up to Newsom and McKenna here. Not too long. 2.4 seconds back. Yeah.
As Alcrudo pushing to try and catch the top 2, but other than that, Odell has gotten by Arens, and apologies that we missed it. I'm taking a look and seeing what had happened. Arens, a slowdown. I don't think there's going to be much on track passing, and that's not a dig at any of these guys. Let me phrase that better. Apologies, words are hard. There's not going to be much in the form of battles. There's going to be more so battles of you versus the curb and track cuts that will relinquish time and positions to your competitors. Because there's that's what's annoying really about tracks like this is you've got these giant curbs and you want to use all of them and then some, but you don't know when the track cut kicks in, Bryan.
Yeah, it's I know like they've been modifying tracks throughout the years. I know sometimes it's if you go a complete tire width off, some tracks it's the center of the car. So I know it says it at the beginning of when you pop on the track, there are track notes to say when a cut takes place, but reading's hard sometimes.
As Odell leads by a second over Arens, Alcrudo, McKenna, a further second back to Newsom, then it's a second and a half back to Corritto, as Vito and Canfield all by himself in the AM class. As Kato crashed earlier on. As 15 minutes into this, will we see decent pit strategy? Will we see someone do something else to try and gain pit strategy? Bryan, if you can instruct me on how to fix that problem, I will definitely do that.
Oh, we're not going to fix it right now. We're going to fix it off. We'll fix it after this. I think it's a little involved, and I don't want it to completely kill your audio and make it the Bryan Sawyer solo show.
Well, I can tell you 2 things. 1, it is not enabled, and 2, remember when I had the cats jump onto the rig and turn it off?
I panicked.
That happened in the Futures race when I was watching the boys on Sunday. I can tell you that I have push-pinned the curtain against the wall so the cats cannot decide to jump onto the rig. So the problem has been alleviated.
All right. Well, yeah, when you disappear on me in a GT3 race, I panic. Rallycross, I'm good. I know what's going on there.
You admit that you need me. That's cute.
I'm just like some cars are doing some things, and Arens is chasing Odell.
Tyler,
Dan Corritto.
I didn't own this track until 2 hours ago.
He has closed the gap, 2.4 seconds to 2.4 seconds in about a lap and a half. 124.6 last time around to Travis Newsom's 125.3.
It's not like Newsom's getting held up by McKenna either.
No.
He's just kind of hanging out, minding his own business. 1.2 seconds from Odell to Arens. Not missing anything up there. What's terrifying about this modified chicane is the track obviously is not set up to support this, because if you go a millimeter too far to driver's left on exit of the final corner, you are going to obliterate the tire barrier that's at a 45-degree angle to the track surface. So I witnessed a couple guys get really close earlier on, but it hasn't happened yet. You think NVIDIA broadcast is my problem?
Yeah, I think it might be. I think it's the noise canceling when you're typing or clicking around real quick. I think it's trying to cancel the noise, and it kind of cancels your voice a little bit.
I have you know that I do not use my mechanical keyboard in the office anymore.
Oh, so, we could probably ditch that then.
I moved my mechanical keyboard since this is the Josh and Bryan podcast with a sprinkling of racing involved.
Travis Newsom way off the track into the wall.
Thanks, Bryan.
And he's done.
And Newsom.
I think that's it for him.
Both of those cars, teammates out.
You know who's loving it though? Darren Canfield up to 7th position, starting 9th. I mean, there may only be nine cars, but the points remain the same throughout the evening. So
it was weird.
7.
He just parked it. It's like he locked up the brakes and then just turned off the track. I don't know.
Oh, it's like he gave up on. He goes, "I'm not going to catch Wanshi, and I'm only giving up 1 position if I just drive off the track." And all right,
here we are. So my gaming mouse and keyboard, Bryan, are living in the living room because I have a intricate setup of streaming my gaming PC to my Apple TV, and I have this other set of keyboard and mouse that I said, well, why not put it in the office? So I've got a nice little quiet keyboard to broadcast off of. It's a good time.
I'm so proud of you. The symphony that was Josh Mertz has ended.
Yes. For once, it's a negative thing or a positive thing that's ended.
For
here we are.
Those of you that don't know, I mean, he slaps that keyboard so fast and so hard that it just click. That's all I hear.
Is it getting canceled out?
That's getting canceled out. But yeah, I think that's what that is. I think it's NVIDIA broadcast trying to noise cancel out while you're typing, and it messes with your voice a bit.
Jules, I hope the playoff hockey's going well. I tried watching again.
It's doing it.
And I had no idea what was going on. And I was amazed that they just embraced not having teeth. I texted her that. And I said, look, they don't have any teeth. And she said, it's just a bunch of goons riding on knives. And I said, what? That's awesome. Here we are. I hope everything is going well. All right. We're about halfway through this race, Bryan. Getting close. What are we thinking? Nothing's going on.
Let's take a break. We'll see if pit strategy comes into play when we get back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step aside, go ASN nonstop. You're not going to miss a thing as we take a break in Zolder.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up Betty to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Magnus will hold his spot. We welcome you back to Zolder in Belgium for round 11 of season 7 of the TORQ Sports Car Series. Also, the Josh and Bryan podcast tonight with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. And Bryan, well, first of all, cameras all season on ASM, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for all of your camera support. We have a pass! Never
we
mind.
have a pit
Wanchi
stop.
Rakenna pitted.
We have a pit
Never
stop.
mind. Wanchi Rakenna pitted. Okay.
Oh, that's an
reminder, if you like
interesting
what you
pit
see,
entrance.
be sure to like and subscribe to ASN, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky, Dark Web, the newspaper, the dog walking down the street. I don't know. Ring the bell for our live streams and our shorts. And yes. So, Rakenna pits. And Odell is now 5.5 seconds up on Arends. And we have 21.5 minutes left. Odell has gotten another slowdown for a turn 7 track cut. When is he going to serve it, is the question. Let's hit programming notes real quick. There's not a lot of them. Sure. Our next broadcast will be the NASA Rallycross World Championship on Saturday. I will not be here. Brian's going to be by himself. Crown a champion in the World Championship. It'll be Evan McFarland, Kieran Lifflander, who knows. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. iRacing Rallycross Strength of Field becomes our tentpole event for a while. That's going to be Saturday nights, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Bryan, you'll have Josh Darnell, you'll have Stephen Moreau, you'll have some war correspondents, you'll have a great time. Sobriety not required. And then the TORQ Sports Car Series to end their season next Thursday. I will be physically in Florida, but I will not be virtually in Florida. Justin Robichaud will be filling in for me as we crown a champion, crown champions, I should say. But I don't even know with the drop week, Bryan, if we'll crown them today. I'm just gonna push it till next week. That's a future Bryan and Justin problem.
Yeah, I have no idea. We got 2 drop weeks. It makes everything a little interesting. I like the idea of it, but as a racer, 2 drop weeks, awesome. As a commentator, I don't know what's going on. I mean, this is clearly going to be one of Travis Newsom's drop weeks. He's coming in 8th. Well, he's coming in 8th tonight. That's 50 points.
Well, we talked about in the opener, and this isn't the only way that this sounds is going to sound super negative, and I don't wish that to sound that way against the guys here in TORQ. But we talked in the break, and we went from eliminating cars. It was in the mid 50s of car count at Road Atlanta at the beginning of the season, down to 9. What is who's to tell? We could dig through the stats all night and see who had a terrible finish when we had 30 cars, when we had 40 cars. I don't think it would hurt him at all to finish 9th compared to where he was at the season.
Yeah, him finishing 8th is actually his, it's going to be his 6th best finish.
Yeah, just for example, if I search his name on the spreadsheet, he finished 24th at Fuji the second round. He finished 20th at Road America. And yeah, well, I mean, unless something changes for Daytona next week, I don't suspect we'll be seeing that again.
I'm looking. It's the same with Kato. This is going to be his 6th best race out of the season, and he's been here for all of them. So it's not going to be one of his drop weeks. It's going to be a counting week.
It's Corrido pitted. He got passed by both the Puerto Rican cars again. He gets left in the dust in the pit lane. Michael Odell yet to pit, so that's why it says 52 seconds. Bryan, pull up the positions changed. We talked about it in the break. Has anybody changed positions aside from Corrido getting turned on lap 1?
Yeah, Renz is up 3.
Up 3, Corrido down 2, 1 for Requena, 2 for Esvito, 2 for Canfield, and it's what, 4? Is that 4 and 2 for Newsom and Kato?
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, 2 isn't even the story of Dan Corrido. Dan Corrido fell all the way to the back of the field. So I mean, he's made up more than he's lost.
Lorenz is heading into the turn 7 chicane, and Canfield pits as well. Odell down the pit lane in the Audi, 36 miles an hour. I think that's 50 kilometers an hour for the people that do not speak freedom units. And Odell jacks up. Is he taking tires? All right,
he's got plenty of time.
Oh yeah. I don't know what Arenz did. I didn't pay attention, admittedly. Odell drops the jack. They have not released the car yet. Now they have. Gap is 11 seconds, but Arenz flying out of the final chicane. Odell exits the pit lane now, but it is a longer pit lane exit, and he has to be slow for this corner. 4.5 seconds, still no contest from Odell to Arenz.
I mean, yeah, we can... quite the distance. It's not undoable, but it's going to be a hard one for Rans to make that up. Pit rotation's done.
3/4 of a second back for from Corrido is Requena. Battle for 4th and 5th brewing.
Let's look at those pit times. Odell 47 seconds, Rans 46. Yeah, Odell willingly just gave up a second by taking some tires.
Newsom and Kato, because they've disconnected, have a humorous, 19 minutes and counting pit time?
Yeah, 13 and 18 minutes, something like that.
All right. The battle with Corrido and Requena has fizzled at about a second. I don't think Requena is going to have the pace to match Corrido. And Corrido's got 4 seconds to catch Al Crudo, but he's nowhere close to where he started. And I'm noticing there's a nasty bump on corner entry that Arenz just went into. You turn in and you hit that bump wrong, that might be catastrophic.
Yeah. And Darren Canfield may have crashed. Nope, I think that's just pit entrance.
Could be.
Yeah, you have
the
to.
Pit exit was giving us issues at Navarro for Rallycross. So.
I think that little like chicane they have to do into the pit entrance slows them down enough to where the system thinks they got in an accident.
That would make sense for Aschersleben for NASA, because you basically had to park on the pit lane exit, if you recall correctly.
Yeah.
Interesting. 2.5 from Corrido to Requena. He's gapped him further. Odell to Arenz has increased by a 10th or 2. It's now 4.3 is the gap between those two, with 15 minutes left. Thanks to everyone who is hung out with us for this very nice and calm race here in Zolder. And we had a good start, a side-by-side start for once, Bryan, and it all came unglued in turn 1.
And it did. We got time. You want to go back and watch it again? We can watch the start.
Yeah, go ahead. Try and get a close-up camera, because I noticed it was netcode between those two as we headed in to turn number 1. One of the Puerto Rican cars, I couldn't tell who it was, if it was a Renz or if it was Al Crudo.
I don't think that's netcode, Josh.
No, there was a gap between them. I could be wrong if you want to roll a different camera angle. When I looked from high above, it looked like there was a decent amount of time. We're going to be super professional about it. Even do an off-board shot, as unprofessional as that one is, just so we could see. Like a chase camera or something.
I don't have a chase cam.
Oh, good.
We get rid of those.
That's fair. All right.
Let's see if we can figure that out.
All right, let's roll that back again. Yeah, see? There's about a foot between them, maybe less than that. And I can't tell if Al Crudo or if Corrido or what. But there was a decent air bubble there.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it was going to happen either way. I mean, if that air bubble wasn't there, that gap would have just completely closed.
Our timing tower is not a Christmas tree. There are 0 colors. No green, no red, Bryan. Everybody minding their own business as we head to the final third of this race.
Yeah, our gaps are really spreading out. Odell 4.5 up.
Another slowdown.
Aren 7.9 up. 4.3, 2.4, 38 seconds up is Wanchi Rakenna on Omar Zvito. And Darren Canfield, another 54 seconds behind that. So I'm assuming Darren Canfield's going to get lapped here soon.
Canfield's exiting the final corner now. And Odell is rounding turn 4. So
okay, no, here we're not.
Well, he already was lapped.
Okay.
He already was lapped. Yeah, so he's a lap and a quarter down. Hey, you're getting a phone call.
I realize that. I don't even know who this is. It's my mother. Goodbye. I'll meet you. I'll be back in a moment.
See ya. Family's important. All right, everybody. We're hanging out at the Josh podcast now. Never thought that I'd be a podcaster, but I digress. Odell leads by 3 seconds over Arenz. He got a track cut in the final corner. Arenz up by 8 over Al Crudo. Al Crudo is up by 4.5 over Corrido. And Rakenna 2.5 on that. 7 cars left, 6 of which on the lead lap. 2 cars out. It's the I-75 teammates of Travis Newsom and Tyler Cato. And if you can hear me, Bryan, of course, don't actually do it. But I'd say hi to your mom. Family's important. So, you look at Arenz. Are you directing cameras while you're on the phone? If you are, give me an onboard shot. Let's ride on board for a lap. Pick a car, pick a camera, Bryan, and I'll start yapping again as Arenz crosses the start-finish line. Look at Miguel Al Crudo in the 544.
Hi, Josh. I'm back.
Hi, Brian. I hope your mom is doing well.
She's doing great. She's just giving me a itinerary update. She's coming here next week. So, she just wanted me to know what's what. Changing some stuff around airport-wise, so...
Hope everything goes well.
Yeah, she wanted me to know while she was doing it.
Good. 16-hour drive is what we have to do from Northwest Indiana.
What is with
Florida.
Midwesterners and driving? I got coworkers who are like, "Oh, well, it's like a 7-hour drive." It's also a 2-hour flight. Not even.
Listen, when Mr. Cody Erdman got married to fabulous Audrey in Tennessee, we drove 8 hours. Not gonna fly. We drove.
No.
We're only driving the 16 hours because we're packing up. It's basically like a Ford Transit van, like I drive for work. And we're driving it down there.
I yearn for the sky, Josh.
Old. I still think it's crazy that you're basically landing in people's living rooms at Midway. Okay?
Yeah.
I drove around Midway for work, and the planes are just 2 feet above your head as you're on Cicero Avenue. It is something else.
We have a building here in Milwaukee. You're flying over it, and most of the planes flying into Milwaukee can see the building, and the roof says "Welcome to Cleveland."
What? Why?
Just to mess with people on the planes.
We were flying into Denver once, and there were sayings carved into the crops. You're east of Denver on the... Is someone off the road? Who is off the road? Was it Esvito? No. I'm blind. I don't know what's happening. For once, I'm the one who doesn't know how to read. Anyways, you fly into Denver, and you're basically in the middle of the fields. They built that airport way out there. And if you go further east of Denver International Airport, it's basically Kansas. It's flat. There's nothing going on. And there's sayings carved into the fields. It's something else. Have you ever been to Denver? It's crazy. That airport's bananas.
I have been. Plenty of times. 20 hours before you'll hop on a flight. That's way too much.
She's crazy. She also hasn't flown in a plane, if I am correct on that.
I think 20 hours is across the country. I will not do that. Once we start breaking the 5 to 6 hour mark, if I'm not going with my dogs, it's a plane.
The longest flight I had, I think the only flights I've done are to Denver and to Orlando. And it was 3 hours to Denver from Chicago. So that was brutal.
Just wait till you cross an ocean. It's a long time.
Where'd you go?
I've been all over there.
Yeah?
Yeah, we travel a lot for fencing back in high school.
Oh, I forgot about that. I travel a lot. I'm here in Belgium. Just kidding. I wish. All right. Running order hasn't changed, ladies and gentlemen. We got 6.5 minutes left. Thanks for hanging out with the Josh and Bryan podcast. Hopefully we have been moderately entertaining, but our viewer count has been cut in half since we started, Bryan. So I'm not going to blame us. We're perfect.
The real ones remain.
Real ones only.
Odell's been slowing up. He's only down the 4 seconds gap.
Well, he lost most of that on the pit stop rotation, and he had to slow down.
Okay.
He had to slow down in the front stretch. You know what I would find interesting for this league? Open up the car restriction. Don't make people lose their points. Let them switch cars.
They do.
I don't know. I'm saying, but I think they lose their points, don't they not? Or they get some form of penalty. No?
I think they get one. Oh, Armando Lorenz almost lost it right there. He went way off into the dirt. That rear end just stepped out.
What a save. I'm going to look off monitor at it. I know in NASA we banned car switches, and I'm considering opening it back up, because I remember the meta back in the day where you can switch cars depending on what track. What are we looking at here? Is this a Renz?
I went the wrong way. I was looking for this. was looking for Armando Aran's going off track in this turn here. Go super wide on the next turn here.
Turn number 4.
No, not this one.
I think you're a lap or two behind. There it is. Woo!
There it is. Yeah, we were just 15 seconds back.
Pictures don't do that justice. You get super loose on the gravel, and you are. If you do one thing wrong, you are in the wall.
Last time by. Look at that, Josh.
Wow, 1 minute
Previous lap
973 for both.
They're running identical times. That's impressive to do. Not conducive to gaining or getting away from, but it's pretty impressive. Down to the 1,000th.
Odell, Lorenz, Crudo, and Carrito. Carrito's kind of stalled out, trying to catch all Crudo. If I was him, I'd be super upset. We talked about how the turn 1 thing was probably going to happen regardless, but it's just so disheartening in a smaller field like this.
Let's go look at some analytics. Do I have any tonight? I might not have any. I don't.
What do you got for me, Bryan?
I have no analytics.
All right.
That's right. I had to downgrade the timing software because the upgraded version that gives me the analytics, it decided that yeah, you can look at the analytics, but we're not going to let you display any graphics on the screen. So that's my fault for trying to use the alpha version instead of the stable branch.
Do you have anyone else to ride on board with, or you got no other cameras?
I got all sorts of cameras.
No. Webcams. Do you have anybody else?
Oh, no. All we had was Kato, and Kato sent it to the wall and threw his hands in the air, and had other things to go do, he said. So, yeah, most of our camera givers are not here tonight.
As Omar Esvito from the 5th position has driven off the circuit, and he is now back on.
Odell's about to lap him. And
he basically parks in front of Odell. Gap is 3.5 seconds from Odell to Arenz. Odell was up by 0.4 that last time around.
Does Arenz still have to pass him? He does. Let's see if he parks in front of Arenz.
You can't park, yeah. Well, he didn't listen. He did it anyways. Up the crest, down the hill. Let's do it again. Boulderberg Haschwellbach. 8. Jochen Rindbach. Number 9. And down to Jackie Ischbach. I don't want to do that ever again.
No, I don't want to hear you do it ever again.
I don't want to do that again. I don't understand. Can we get translated turn names, please? I think Bach means turn. I don't know.
Yeah, special guest commentator, the Duolingo owl.
I can't take you seriously. All right. We got a minute and a half, and this race is coming to a close.
Why don't you reckon it may have crashed? Why don't you reckon it may have crashed? Let's go see what...
I'm taking a look. Oh, I told you that final corner bit somebody. Oh, never mind. It wasn't. Well, it wasn't entry. He clipped the grass on entry.
He clipped the grass.
Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, literally, Josh. You sent him to the grave. Oh, yeah, he hit the wall and he got back on. He's good to go. He's gonna finish out this race.
Tell you what, Dan Carrito's got 2.5 seconds to make it onto the podium, and he's got 2 laps. I don't think that's gonna happen, though.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm sure see if. I don't even think we're gonna have 2 laps. I think we're gonna run the last lap. I think we're gonna end at 32. We're coming around the last turn here, right, with Odell?
Yeah, across the line, and this will be the white flag in Zolder.
Where's Barney?
30 seconds left
He's
on the
not in the
clock. I don't know. Oh, good. Is he busy drinking beer?
Well, that's the flag stand. Don't know where Barney went. And this it's not saying it's the white flag yet, but
I don't know where Zolder is in relation to the various cities in Belgium and the Netherlands. But listen, you got to get back into the flag stand, buddy.
This is now
You've
the
had
final
one too
lap.
many.
He's still not there.
Oh!
Oh!
On the final lap of the race, he clipped the curb, and around he went. Wow! Oh! It's not over till it's over, Bryan. And that is case in point. Like Senna in '88 in Monaco, lose focus for just a moment, and the curb bites.
Oh, yep.
Unbelievable.
He's lucky that car's still driving. That could have been much worse than what just happened.
My script was written and Michael O'Dell won the race. It was wrong. Final chicane. A very quiet race turned dramatic on the last half of a lap. Armando Arens wins in Zolder. Michael O'Dell second. Third will be Miguel Alcrudo. Then Carrito, Azvito, Raquena Canfield, Newsom, and Cato.
Wow. I wasn't ready for that one, Josh.
I wasn't either. How about Pro Arens? Thanks, graphic.
That's just the way it is.
Carrito crashed into Crudo after the checker flag. Wow.
Yeah, that's just the way the team names it, or the league names the things. But Odell's going to come out with the most points tonight. He got pole and he got fastest lap, so he'll end the night with 71 points to Armando Arens' 70 points. So the bonus points definitely saving him there.
Do we have points this early, or we have to wait a few minutes?
I can't type that fast, so we will need a moment.
That's totally fine. Because we thought that Michael O'Dell would be on the top step of the podium there. He was not. And he is in the media pen. So are we ready for that as well, or we need a minute?
We just need 30 seconds for that. Not even 30 seconds for that one. More like 3 seconds for that one.
Whenever you are ready, you let me know.
Who are we pulling first? Odell?
Let's have a chat with Odell.
Pull him in.
And Michael O'Dell, I had my script written that you won this race, and it was very simple until it wasn't, my friend. What happened?
Well, as you can see, Audi is not a good skateboard, so we'll make a note of that. Honestly, it's just, I was pushing and pushing, and I really was trying to just keep the gap, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything crazy, and then I decided, I'm like halfway through the corner, I started to turn, and I just felt the front just say, no, it's done, no more. And I'm like, oh, crap. So once it started to push a little bit, I tried to force it, and I'm like, if I force it, I'm either going to slide or I take the curb, and then I took that, and just the rest is history at that point.
Walk me through the curbs and the track cuts, because there were quite a few, not only from you, but I think Arens had some and Crudo had some. It seemed like the curbs were inviting, but then you took too much and got some slowdowns.
Honestly, I have no idea. A lot of them, it seems like you said, they invite lots of usage of them, but at the same time, it's like you go a millimeter over that, and they're like, no, here's this full second, you gotta wait now. And the thing is that with this track, there's a few areas you can give the second, but most of the time, it's like, it gives you where it's on a straightaway, and now you're giving up 2 seconds to get one off of the clock, and it's like, I haven't really quite figured it out, because it doesn't seem like they're hard set to an extent, like, on the game it's hard set, but like visually I'm still not 100% sure where is a go and where's a no.
Anyone you'd like to thank for the I would say unfortunate P2 result tonight?
Well, the mom and dad got to watch that one firsthand. They could see the cars fast, especially for an Audi somehow. I decided to switch because I thought it'd be kind of funny to see one of these on the grid. And it did good, but not good skateboard. We'll make a note of it for the next one.
All righty, my friend. We will we'll see you next week in Daytona, question mark?
Probably not. I'll be out of town, unfortunately.
We will see you
Hopefully I
next
can-
season then, my friend.
That's for sure. Take care. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Armando, I just asked Michael Odell. I said, I had my script written, and Michael Odell won in pro, and I had it written 20 minutes ago. And he decided to try and make the Audi into a skateboard. And here we are. You are our victor tonight. Very quiet race. Talk me through the reaction and the emotions of that chicane on the backstretch. And it looked like I think it was either you or Miguel made contact with Dan in turn one. Talk me through both of those.
I feel so bad for Odell. Like, that's not fair. Yeah, man. Like, I pushed hard, and we always kept the gap. He pulled away a little bit. There were some times he had slowdowns. There were some times I had slowdowns. At the beginning, I think that was Miguel and then Carrito. I think it was.
That sounds right. You guys have identical cars. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, I got the gold wheels. Miguel got the white wheels. That's how you can tell us apart. But yeah, no. Other than that, I mean, I got this track 3-4 hours ago, so I wasn't expecting this.
But a win is a win, no matter if you won led every single lap or just half a lap. So, who'd you like to thank for the victory?
Just my team, TBR team, of course. Miguel Crudo, Hector Alvarez. He hasn't been racing for a while, but he's always giving us input and stuff. So, thanks to both of them. And then just Sim PR guys, always good friends of us too. So yeah, thanks everybody, and thank you guys.
For sure. Good run this race, my friend. We'll see you next week in Daytona.
Alrighty, thank you.
Hey, Bryan. That's very nice and calm until it wasn't.
Exactly.
You got points?
Yeah, let's rip through this and get out of here for the evening. I know we got a race we're trying to do next. So,
what was it?
A little bit of movement in the pro standings. Down at the backfield.
Rito and Odell up 3. Kretschmer down 1. Alvarez down 3. Raquena up 2. In the M class, it should look really interesting. Did Canfield go up 900 places?
Canfield
absolutely nothing moves.
Okay, so they did not move. Canfield, however, did move. I don't know why the arrows are broken. But Canfield moved 8 positions. He moved from P19 or P20 overall. He is now P12. So,
and in teams, we know the Puerto Rican teams are leading that championship. But let's take a look at manufacturers real quick. Well,
we're gonna hit this
just to confirm there. I-75 does not move. SimPR Pro 2 up 1. They are in 10th. I-75 with both cars retiring.
A little bit of movement in car, but not much.
Acura up 1, Corvette down 1. That's all the movement that we have. I'll get some sponsor plugs. We'll hit programming notes and run out of here. Cameras all season on ASM, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Check them out, facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale, for all of your camera support. If you like what you saw tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. Ring the bell to be notified of our live streams weekly, along with our short-form video content. If you'd like your content broadcasted by ASN, or if you'd like to join the team, ASNTVUSA.com. My final thought, I'm going to switch things up for a little bit. It's not over till it's over, and that proved it. We ran 44 and a half minutes of Michael Odell and Armando Arens, kind of dueling, kind of running their own race. Odell makes one mistake like Senna in 88 at Monaco, and that is all she wrote. Bryan, give me a final thought.
Yeah. You kind of stole it right from me. I mean, no, don't lose focus. You lose focus, and that will be the end of your race. I mean, it's only 45 minutes. Sounds easy, maintain it for 45, but when you're out by yourself and you're not really racing that hard, it's easy to let the mind wander.
Super easy. The checkered flag falls on the evening at Zolder. On behalf of our entire production staff and producer Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we thank you for joining us for tonight's coverage of the TORQ Sports Car Series from here in Belgium. As we congratulate our winners, Darren Canfield and Armando Arens. Just a reminder, don't miss the conclusion of the NASA Rallycross World Championship from Lonkmannen in Norway on Saturday. But until then, so long, everyone.